First.
You said you were going to go first.
No.
Oh my God. Hola, my name is Humberto Osorio Luna.
Hola. My name is Sue Ellen Osorio.
Hola, my name is Humberto Osorio Luna.
Hola. My name is Sue Ellen Osorio.
And this is our new YouTube channel, Hola,
Hola,
Spain. 6 months ago, we sold all our possessions back home, packed up our two youngest kids, and decided to move to Valencia, Spain. Now we're going to be going over the 10 biggest cultural shocks that we've encountered since we moved to Valencia. Now, of course, this is a new YouTube channel, so please hit that like and subscribe button and the notification bell so you guys can be notified of all the new content we'll be putting out there on life and travel in Spain. ¿Lista?
Vámonos.
Vámonos. All right, so tell us about the first biggest cultural shock that you've encountered here in Valencia.
So for me, I would say that it had to be the siesta. We all thought the glorious siesta was going to be just all what all dreams are made of, basically, where people sleep and you get to have a break. But in our case, it wasn't. We actually, I don't know why we needed stuff during these siesta times and everything is closed. And I understand that they're open from, 10 to 2 o'clock. But you have that very small window. So if you don't hit that window, guess what? You gotta wait till 5:30 to go ahead and get whatever you're needing. And I feel like the siesta, I thought I was gonna come here and we were gonna nap and we were gonna take breaks. And it is not like that. We just have not adopted the siesta really well. My husband loves to take naps, so I feel like siesta is in his corner. But mine, I don't like taking naps unless they're like 2 to 5 hours. So maybe I should embrace the siesta life, but it just hasn't happened yet. Normally, we are working during that time or trying to find a restaurant with tapas or, something along those lines. But I just feel like the siesta for me, I thought I was really going to enjoy it, and I just haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, no, it was definitely something completely different from back home, especially in the States. There's no businesses closing between 2 to 5 or 3 to 6. And so we're spoiled in that sense that you can go to the store any hour of the day and get whatever you need. Because obviously it was a big adjustment moving here and having to get established ourselves here. So we have to go get groceries and maybe some furniture and clothes and this and that and the other. And when you find out that stores are closed, it's like, wait, what? What do you mean stores are closed from this time to this time?
Knocking on the door like, hello.
Yeah, so it was a big wake-up call. But now I understand, being here for 6 going on 7 months, you understand that, yeah, siesta is there because usually lunchtime, la comida, is the biggest meal of the day here in Spain. It involves multiple courses, it involves wine, and so it makes sense that you want a 2 to 3 hour break to enjoy this big meal and to get some rest afterwards, right? And so now, for me, it was relatively easy to adopt. Like my wife said, I like to nap. And I'm Mexican, basically half Spanish, true mestizo, as they say it. So yeah, it's in my blood, right? Having a little siesta. My wife, not as much. So
I will try to adopt it the more we stay here.
Yeah, but that was probably one of the biggest ones. Very big cultural shock for me was seeing people drinking beer or having wine for breakfast everywhere. You will walk around the cafes, the bars early in the morning, and you'll see people routinely enjoying some beer, some wine with their breakfast. And back home, unless it's Sunday and people are going out to brunch, nobody's drinking early in the morning. And if they were, most likely you think they'd have a problem, right? That's the mentality back home.
Yeah.
Here, and we had some people tell us, people will look at you sideways if you don't have a beer or wine with your breakfast because it's so common. It's so common. You go have an almuerzo, you have a cerveza, un vino tinto, and of course, el café. Coffee's huge here at all hours of the day. But that was really, really big. And I even called my friends back home because I had a little routine back home. Saturday or Sunday, I barbecued every weekend. And whether I was watching college football or NFL football on Sundays, as soon as I lit up that fire and I can hear that wood crackling, I'd open up my first beer. But it was limited to those days, obviously. Here, people will have a little bit of alcohol with their breakfast and go about their day. We even encountered a situation where people would be coming into the bar. We'd stop at a cafe. Cafes and bars are kind of synonymous here. All bars serve food and all cafes serve alcohol. So like I say, they're synonymous in that sense. But we would be having our almuerzo, and we would notice people would come in, walk up to the bar, and order a shot. Here they call it a chupito. They'd ask for a chupito, they would take their shot, and then they would go to work. And it was obvious that they were going to work because they were dressed in work clothes. And so I asked our waitress, like, how common is that? And she let us know, or she educated us on the fact that it's pretty common for laborers here, construction workers, electricians, to have a chupito before going to work. That it's really common. They'll have some whiskey, they'll have some rum, they'll have whatever their preference is. And she goes, I don't know why they do it. Maybe it helps calm the nerves. They have a dangerous job. She goes, but it's really common. And hey, when in Rome, right? Or when in Spain.
When in Spain.
Yeah, if you're here, enjoy a cerveza, enjoy some vinito, or have a chupito with your breakfast.
And not be judged.
Yeah, you won't be judged at all. All right, sweetheart. Number 3.
They actually are just the masters of small talk. You can ask somebody hi, and they will give you their life story, what they had for dinner yesterday, who they ate with, and possibly throw in their moon rising sign. We don't know. It's so crazy how people are just ready to pour out their lives to you in just a short interaction. Because in the United States, yes, you would meet somebody at, in the line of a grocery store, and you're like, hi, how's it going? And, that's where it would end for me. It's just walking on the street, you're just like, hi, how's it going? If you know the person, you would go in depth. But, I really like that they are comfortable enough to interact and give you all this small talk. And with that too goes their tone. Their tone is so expressive here. Yesterday we were having breakfast, and the owner of the company had his workers there, and he was just with this aggressive tone yelling at his workers. And I'm like, it is too early to be yelling at your workers. Like, what is going on? But the more and more we were listening to, he was just very passionate about what he was talking about. And I think that's the most appropriate word for this situation, is that passion in their tone is really eccentric here. It's just, they love to be very passionate and talk very loud, and it sounds like they're upset or they're angry or anything, but they're not. They're just very passionate about what they have to tell you, right? We're always like, okay, calm down.
Well, initially we were, and it was something we didn't expect, because even if you go to a grocery store, there's a grocery store that we frequent here now when we don't go to the mercado, and it's called Consum, and it's a co-op. So it's very much like Costco. You sign up for a membership, and they give you money back at the end of the year for your purchases, sort of thing. And so they always ask you as you're paying, ¿tienes tarjeta Consum? And so we were like, no. It might have been the first time we went. The cashier pulled us aside and said, you have to get a card. Necesitas una tarjeta. Porque te regresan dinero, you get money back. And he really stressed it to us, like, just do it. Even if you get €1 or €2 back at the end of the month, it's still €1 or €2. And to us, it was like, okay, we'll do it. I mean, €1 or €2 back sounds great, right? But I feel like he went out of his way. Going to the post office to put our names on our new address.
Oh, yeah.
The lady, I asked her, how do I go about doing this? And she not only told me how to put our names on our new mailbox and this and that, she told me about Spanish residential laws and what my rights are as a renter as opposed to what the owner can do. She said I can change the locks on the door without having to notify the owner. Yeah, she went out of her way to explain all these things. We went to buy a Metro card, and the guy told us about how to do things. Like, people just go out of their way to save you a couple of euros, and with no need to. I mean, they can tell we were foreigners. I mean, they asked us, where are you guys from? And we're like, somos de los Estados Unidos. But maybe it's because we speak the language that they felt comfortable in telling us all these things, but it's actually really nice. In the beginning, you kind of are thrown back by it.
Because of the tone.
Because of the tone, yeah. They tend to be really passionate, and it's not aggressive. It's just more passionate. They're not being mean, but I think we just weren't used to it, coming from the States, coming from San Antonio, Texas. And so now, yeah, we like it.
We sit and listen, and okay, I got 8 to 10 minutes. Let's do this. And so we tend to be understanding when we do ask a question and you need to have time to get that response.
Oh yeah, it's good. We're getting used to it too, and we're engaging in it as well. We'll give a long response back. And so number 4 on our list, and this is a huge one. I think this is probably one of the biggest ones coming from the United States, is you don't need to own a car here in Valencia, Spain. Valencia has an amazing public transportation system. You have your buses, you have your metro. There's bike lanes everywhere. Even taking a taxi is very inexpensive. It's very cheap. And so we have not driven, either one of us, since we got here. And I'm not gonna lie to you guys, it's pretty amazing.
I don't miss it. I'm like, I keep thinking about like when we go back to the States to visit and stuff, how I need to get in a car and drive. I'm just like, I just want to be a passenger princess from now on.
No, it's really nice. Like, obviously the financial side of it is nice too, not having pump gas, pay car insurance, vehicle maintenance, all those other things. But man, it's just really nice to hop on your bike. And Valencia is pretty much a flat city everywhere. And there's bike lanes everywhere. And where there isn't a bike lane, you can ride on the street. There's designated lanes for your bikes that you share with the buses and the taxis. And so it's really safe. And Valencia, despite being the 3rd biggest city in Spain, is not very big area-wise. So if you have a bike, you can get anywhere in the city probably in about 30 to 40 minutes, I'd say, from one end of the city to the other. And that's not a joke. Walking, you can get everywhere. If you live in the city center, you can walk anywhere in the city and you'll be absolutely fine. And riding the metros is safe. The metros are clean. There's never any trouble on them. And we have 2 little girls, 4 and 6. We get on the metro and it happens to us every time we ride the metro with the girls.
Royalty.
People will get up out of their seats. If there's no sitting area, people will get up out of their seats and, oh, por favor, que se sienten las niñas.
Let the girls sit. Let the girls sit and, we'll stand,
And it's amazing because everybody will do it. Young people, old people, if they see 2 little kids with no sitting area or no space for them to sit, people will get up out of the chair and let them sit. So that is pretty amazing. If you guys come to Valencia, rent yourself a bike for the day and bike all over town. You'll love it. Get yourself a Suma card. They have tourist cards that you can get to ride the buses and the metros. They cost you 10, 15 euro, and you can ride unlimited for the 24, 48, or 72 hours that you're here. And honestly, it is pretty amazing. That to me is a very beneficial cultural shock.
And number 5 for me is that I was pretty shocked to understand that everything is closed on Sundays. So going in, like I mentioned before, siesta's a thing. I knew about that, but I did not know about the Sunday thing. And for us, we learned the hard way. We came in on a Saturday and we're like, we'll just wait to get groceries on Sunday, not knowing. Well, Sunday came around, we were exhausted. We're like, we need food, we need stuff, we need to stock up our kitchen. No.
Yeah, that was a big shock. No groceries on Sundays because, like she mentioned, our big routine back home was Sundays. You go to Costco and you go to H-E-B. Those were our spots early in the morning, right? To get ready for the week. But yeah, no groceries on Sundays, guys, so be aware. No grocery stores, no mercados. You'll find some convenience stores, but aside from that, you're out of luck. Let's put it that way.
Until Monday.
Until Monday. And number 6, there is such a strong sense of family and community here. And what I mean by that is people will go to a bar or cafe or even the mercado when you go to the local markets here to buy your food, your groceries, your produce, your meats. People will go and maybe not even need much groceries or food, but they want to go interact with the person, with your butcher. You want to go interact with the cafe owner. People will just go in and have a cafecito. They'll stand at the bar, enjoy a small espresso, but be there for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, just talking. There are these communal areas where people just get together to interact. And it's really nice because it forces you to integrate into your local community. And we were forced to do it too. When we go to the mercado, we have a lady that we get our produce and our fruit from. And she likes to ask us questions. We ask her questions, and she admitted to it. She's like, yeah, people come here just to talk sometimes. They'll buy one piece of fruit, but they just want to sit here and talk. You'll see an 80-year-old person walking arm in arm with a teenager, or different generations of families walking around together. And it's not like you see it sparsely. You see it all the time everywhere. If you go to a restaurant, families will make reservations and take over the restaurant.
Yeah, there are like 15, 20 people deep.
15, 20
you know?
people deep all the time. And if you don't have a reservation, it might be hard to get in, but you'll see little ones to the oldest in the family, and everybody's sitting together, everybody's eating, everybody's enjoying. And so I think if you speak the language, it's just a huge, huge, huge plus. Because if you don't speak the language, you're just another foreigner, and you might not get the same experience, right? Luckily, we speak the language, our girls do, and it's been a lot easier as far as the integration process has been a lot easier for us. The transition from the US to here has been a lot easier. And yes, I mean, we kind of fit into that strong sense of family and community, and we love it because you want to have a community around you, especially when you're in a foreign country, which Spain is a foreign country to us.
Oh.
And so it really does feel good.
So number
7.
Siete.
Siete.
If I can count. I forgot how to count. I would have to say that another big shock for me was seeing dogs everywhere. I used to send texts to a lot of our friends, and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a dog in the restaurant, like right next to me. Like, dogs are allowed everywhere. And when I mean everywhere, restaurants, bars, library, schools, metro, better take that dog in a taxi. They're in strollers, constant strollers, and they're just everywhere. Of course, parks, right? But people do take really good care of their dogs. Like, they're always dressed up with their little sweaters, and me and the girls are always commenting about the dogs in their fluffy sweaters, and it's just a shock seeing them everywhere for me.
Yeah, they're allowed everywhere, which was kind of eye-opening for us for dogs just to be everywhere around here. Now, that being said, when you have dogs everywhere, you can have dog piss and dog poop everywhere. And so you will encounter a lot of that as well. So be aware. All right, and number 8. This you'll encounter at any time when you come visit Valencia. You will see how well people dress here. And I think it might be for Spain in general, I'm not sure, but here in Valencia, people dress really well. I know my wife mentioned how people dress their dogs really well. Yeah, kids. Well, maybe I should start with the dogs at the bottom. Kids, parents, grandparents, everybody dresses really well. It's not like back home where you'll see someone in pajamas or in sweats or in yoga pants going to the grocery store or to any store to buy things. You see that pretty normal. We'd see people at nice restaurants back home in sweats going to eat. And it's unheard of here. It doesn't happen. You go to a grocery store, everybody's dressed in pants or slacks, the men, with a shirt, whatever. Nobody is dressed in pajamas, sweats, unless you're going strictly to the gym or from the gym back home. Mm-hmm. Nobody's dressing like that here. There's definitely a bar set on fashion, which is nice because it forces you to, let's say, up your wardrobe a bit, dress well and present yourself well in public, which makes you feel good. You dress well, you feel better, and I think it's nice. It's one of the nicer things about Spain that I didn't expect. I honestly didn't expect because, I came with not a suitcase full, but maybe a half a suitcase full of like my football jerseys, and yeah, I have yet to wear them. I've worn my soccer jerseys because soccer is big here, but yeah, no, nobody wears that out in public. Unless you're going to a soccer game, you'll wear your soccer jersey, right? But aside from that, yeah, don't wear pajamas out here. Don't wear sweats out in public. You can, but you're going to stand out. You're going to stand out a lot.
And it makes you think about like what you wear in the mornings. I was that guilty person, dropping off my kids, going to the grocery store in yoga pants, just throwing on some yoga pants, a shirt, and let's go. Come on, let's go. And that was just my everyday attire. So here, no ma'am. Here, it's like every day you gotta dress up so it makes you feel good, and there's days when it's cloudy and you just are kind of in a funk and you gotta look good, and then you look in the mirror, you're like, okay, all right, I can tackle this day. I can go on about this. But yeah, for us, it's just really setting the bar high for us personally.
Fashion is big here, which is nice. It's really nice. Everybody's dressed well, so it's nice to see.
Bring your good clothes if you come.
Yeah. All right, and coming in at number 9, we have beach culture. Now, beach culture here is different from the US in the sense that nudity or partial nudity is accepted at most or all public beaches. It's not like back home where there's specific places for nude beaches.
No.
I never even saw any back home really, and I grew up
Yeah.
near South Padre Island, and I would hear about a nude beach, never saw it. Here, you go to any public beach, and we've been to several beaches here in Spain already, and yeah, expect to see women topless. It's very normal. Nobody bats an eye. There's nobody gawking at these women. It's just part of the progressive culture for women here, I suppose.
The European culture
Yeah.
in general, I feel, is very open and being free to their body. And I really like the body positivity, like freeness of the body image here in Spain, because when we've been to the beaches, we've seen all ages without a top. And kids, for me, it was kind of hard to see little girls without tops on, because we in America have been clouded with this like, oh, they need tops on because so other men don't sexualize them or anything. When here, they're not being sexualized, or at least I don't feel that way. I feel like there's kids without tops on. There's little girls without tops on. And we're over here, they could probably tell we were Americans. They're like, ¿Qué onda con los americanos, you know? But had our girls fully clothed, you know, and all these little girls out there were just being free. Like, okay, you can see a kid, you can also see a middle-aged woman, you can see an older woman. All of these stages of lives of womanhood, you see at a beach, like, and topless, and they're just like free about it. They're not embarrassed, and it almost felt like I wanted to do it. Like I wanted to be free of, like, be able to do that and express myself and know that, oh, okay, I'm not going to be sexualized or judged or anything, because I'm always about body positivity and women being free to express their body without being sexualized or judged, right? And so I really love that about that here.
Yeah, and babe, feel free. Whenever we go to the beach, you have my permission.
I did it once, and I did it because I was getting a massage. And then I did do it for a couple of moments to get some sun. But I feel like the women here are like, I am not about to have that bikini the tan line. I want the full on even coat tan line. So when I wear my nice, you know, dresses, it's not tan line, you know, like that we have in America. So I really do like the freeness. So I don't know, maybe this next summer it might be a little bit different. You'll see me walking around.
Yeah, and don't be shocked. I mean, I think if you're an adult and you come and visit, it might be, you know, a little, you might raise your eyebrows the first time you encounter it, but then you quickly get used to it. It's like, oh yeah, you kind of fall in line with everybody else. It's just accepted. And like I say, don't stare. Obviously, don't be that person. But yeah, it's really cool to see, especially because I have 2 little girls. And it's nice to know that if we stay here long term, you know, that they'll grow up in that way of being more sex positive about their own bodies, not feeling ashamed that they always have to cover up. You know, nobody's clutching their pearls here when they see someone, you know, topless. And so it's really nice to see a little bit more progressive in that way. And I liked it. I really enjoyed it.
And we did allow the girls, because the girls, I remember looking at the other little girls and asking us, like, Mom, why do they have their tops off? Like, how come they get to have the tops off? And I'm like, do you want to do it? Do you feel comfortable doing it? I wanted to put, you know, the ball into their court. And they were like, well, yeah. So we took off their tops and they were like running around, which is really great because they did get really nicely tanned all over.
Yeah.
But I felt like I saw them jumping into the ocean and like playing with almost this like, extra sense of freedom.
Yeah, you'll encounter that when you come, and Valencia's on the coast, and so if you hit up a beach, most likely anywhere in Spain or in Europe, I'm not sure, but yeah, you'll see people topless, and it's cool. It's normal.
Yeah.
No need to be shocked.
And leading into the last one, number 10, I am very shocked about this one, but actually really excited about this one, and I wanted to leave it to the end to kind of emphasize about public breastfeeding here. Like, the public breastfeeding here is just so open and free. Going into the body positivity of the beach culture, Europeans also are just not batting an eye. They're not judging mothers and allowing them to breastfeed in public everywhere. You know, you'll see mothers just walking, and if their baby's crying, pick them up and walking and feeding their child while walking, feeding them in the metro, feeding them in the bus, feeding them at the beach. Like, they're feeding them in the restaurants, everywhere, but nobody's judging them. And here, I feel like it's encouraged, like the doctors are encouraging mothers to breastfeed. I was talking to another lady and she was breastfeeding her baby and she was just like, oh, because I was kind of having the conversation, you know, I'm still breastfeeding my 4-year-old, and she was just like, oh, that's perfect. Yeah, the doctor's here, like they force you to do it. And it's just great because it's just easy. You know, you just pop one out and breastfeed your baby wherever, and nobody's judging you. Nobody's telling you you can't do that here. In America, I remember there was a jump park where a mom was breastfeeding, and that mom got told by the manager that she needed to leave or go and breastfeed her baby in the bathroom. And there was a rally of us mothers rallying again with this mom to let her know that, you know, we have her back. We're going to go strike. Like, this should not be happening. This is such a natural thing for women to do. Like, why are we sexualizing it in America? Why are we judging mothers to feed their children? And here it's just not as judged or like looked down on, and I really, really appreciate that.
Here it's accepted. It's accepted, and mothers don't hesitate. We'll be waiting for our children outside of the school, and there's mothers with babies, and they just pop out the breast and they start breastfeeding, which is awesome. Nobody bats an eye, and they're not covered up. They don't put the little sash on like they do back home, or the cover. They're just breastfeeding, which is the most normal act, and there's no man leering over her, staring at her breast. It's just, it is what it is, and it's awesome. And so it's really nice to see. And I know it's important for her and for most women out there, I'm sure. I'm just, like I said, I'm a guy, just give you my opinion.
With his useless boobies.
I like to call them pecs. And they're not useless because they look great when I take my shirt off, but not as nice as hers, I'll give her that. Alrighty guys, well, we hope you enjoyed our first video here, explaining the 10 biggest cultural shocks that we've encountered. Now, of course, there are many, many more. Yes. I mean, we can talk about the healthcare system. We can talk about tipping culture. We can talk about the diversity here. There's so many things we can get into. If you guys have any specific questions, please feel free to comment. Let us know what you guys would like us to talk about, and we will definitely talk about these issues or talk about them in our next video. Until then, don't forget to like and subscribe, and pues adiós, nos vemos.
Adiós.
Adiós.
Till next time.